Excuse me, do you know why we pulled you over today? Exactly, it's because you're not subscribed. So you better fix that right now, or we're gonna have to take you in. Sorry, Tim. That joke went too far. Anyways, okay? Let's talk about OLED. Let's talk about OLED, boys. Let's talk about OLED. Let's talk about OLED, baby. Sonia wants to talk about OLED and wants to tell us more about it. And this is 9 to 5 Mac coming in with, hey, Ben Lovejoy again. Anyways, OLED iPad Pro. OLED iPad at least, reports get another boost as Samsung plans Apple-specific production line. Oh.
OLED iPad reports get another boost as Samsung plans Apple-specific production line. There have been so many OLED iPad reports that it's hard to even count, and the latest one suggests that Samsung is making plans to build an advanced OLED production line designed specifically for Apple panels for tablets and PC lineups. The plan is to begin production in 2024, but one interpretation might suggest the first OLED iPads launching as soon as next year. Background. We've talked before about the gradual transition Apple is making in terms of display tech. IPS LCD with conventional backlighting. This is still used in older Macs and cheaper iPhones. IPS LCD with mini LED backlighting. Apple switched to this for iPad Pro models, and is now using it in the new MacBook Pro. It allows for darker blacks and brighter whites, and makes a surprising difference. OLED. Apple first adopted this in the Apple Watch before bringing it to the iPhone. Starting with the iPhone X, Apple has not yet used this in either iPads or MacBooks, but is expected to do so sometime in the 2023 to 2026 timeframe. Micro LED. Despite the similarity in name to Mini LED, this is a completely different technology. It's effectively a much more sophisticated version of OLED. It's brighter, more power efficient, and doesn't suffer from burn-in. Apple's interest in micro LED dates back to at least 2014, and while there have been some signs of progress, this tech is still at a very early stage of development. As with OLED, it's likely to come first to the Apple Watch, then iPhone, iPad, and Macs, in that order.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I feel like my preference is still mini LED and then micro LED. OLED, I'm not too much of a fan of OLED, and I feel like you guys aren't either. To be honest, I feel that the reason for that is because it makes the image is nice, but burn-in, for example, is a problem, although Apple seems to have fixed that on the iPhone. And on top of that, you have problems with potential color shifting, you have problems with like brightness, right? And again, Apple has fixed that on the iPhone, but it makes the tech a lot more expensive, right? I think Samsung now, if I'm reading chat correctly, I feel like, and I also remember that there is this QD or something like that, LED, which is now in the new Alienware displays, also from Samsung. The display itself the design is from Dell, but the display technology and whatever is behind it is from Samsung. And it seems to suggest, at least the reviews seem to suggest, that a lot of OLED problems have been fixed with that display. So that kind of solves the whole question of, is this possible in a bigger display than just the iPhone, right? Because this going well in the iPhone is great. I love that. But yeah, like bigger displays, that is the huge question. And that's why I feel like a lot of people, including myself, just want to skip OLED and go to micro LED whenever it's ready. Like, I don't really care too much. Like, mini LED is fine. Like, it works great, and I know a lot of people have, or some people actually, just have this blooming issue, or like have this bad experience with the blooming issue. I feel like everyone has the blooming because it's something that comes with mini LED, but to me it doesn't really make too much of a hassle for like the technology itself. So yeah, I don't have this rush of going into OLED. But yeah, if Apple is able to fix it as much as it is on the iPhone, perfect. Let's go to OLED. If not, please just stay with mini LED and just relax until we have micro LED or micro LED, whatever you want to call it.
As with OLED, it's likely to come first to the Apple Watch, then iPhone, iPad, and Macs, in that order. Some sources have claimed that Apple would skip OLED altogether, while most say OLED iPads are in the works, but disagree over launch dates, with everything from 2022 to 2026 reported. Growing number of OLED iPad reports. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo last year suggested that the first OLED iPad would launch in 2022, but subsequently said this plan had been abandoned. Apple has 3 display suppliers, and all 3 have been reported to be working on a new generation of OLED panel technology likely geared toward Apple. Samsung's panel design was said to double the brightness and boost longevity. LG was reported to be readying itself for orders for OLED iPad displays, preparing to double the production of a plant dedicated to making advanced displays in the right size range for iPads.
Interesting. So LG obviously has had some controversial OLED panels. And the funny thing is that it's mostly the smaller displays that they created, because their bigger displays are actually reportedly better than, well, especially before the QD OLED or whatever it's called. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. The new OLED technology from Samsung. Before that, it seemed to be that the OLED displays from LG, the bigger ones, were actually better from LG than the ones coming from Samsung, which is why Samsung sticked with QLED, which is mini LED, if I'm not mistaken. So, and right now, Samsung seems to be catching up with the bigger ones, and LG seems to be catching up with the smaller displays. Since in the past, I feel like LG has been not perfect. Let's just keep it there. Especially with the Pixel lineup, I feel like that was LG. That didn't work too well. But yeah, I would trust LG right now with the things that, something that could give it. I would trust the smaller displays from LG right now. I feel like they catched up. And it's funny to see that these companies are catching up on each other. I think that's great. But yeah, apparently Samsung is going to do it now. So yeah, unfortunate, unlucky for LG.
LG was reported to be readying itself for orders for OLED iPad displays, preparing to double the production of a plant dedicated to making advanced displays in the right size range for iPads. Finally, BOE was recently said to be joining the OLED iPad panel party, though the company isn't exactly in Apple's good books at present. Samsung plans for OLED iPad panel production. Building on earlier Samsung reports, the leak gets a little more specific, suggesting that the company is working on plans to create a new advanced OLED production line for tablets and PCs specifically for Apple. Samsung Display is likely to build its first Gen 85 OLED line with a capacity of 15,000 substrates per month, the ELEC has learned. Gen 8.5, 2200 by 2500 mm, substrates are larger than the Gen 6, 1500 by 1850 mm, used widely for smartphones. This means it is more efficient and productive for making larger OLED panels aimed at IT products such as tablets and notebooks. The line is aimed at Apple, which is planning to adopt OLED panels more for its tablets and PC lineups. If Cupertino decides to more widely adopt them going forward, Samsung Display will likely invest to add another 15,000 substrates per month in capacity. The new Gen 8.5 line will likely start production in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, so this is exciting stuff, right? New technology is exciting. Obviously, OLED is not too new, but apparently this is a version, a whole new production line. So something must be up. I just yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure about this whole transition. It's cool, but if it doesn't happen, I'm cool about it as well. Let's see what's happening here. Um, Here we go again about these stupid OLED shit, fam. Yeah, I mean, yes, maybe Apple can evolve OLED into something better. Didn't Samsung get? Didn't Samsung create a better create? Ah, okay. Didn't Samsung create a better version? Samsung Kakao. Yeah, yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, definitely Kakao. Dude, if this sucks, I'm not buying an iPad. I hate OLED. Yeah, I don't hate it, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to invest in it right now. So let's see what happens. Um, it will be fine. Apple will test this design an infinite amount of times. Yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. Does that mean it's going to be perfect though? Hopefully, hopefully. I think that I do know one reason why you would still buy a new iPad though. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you multitasking. Multi-flippin' tasking. And I'm just saying. This is going to be slapping different. I can't wait for this to happen. And let's just go over this article real quick. I feel like for the most part, we don't have to read it. Like, we already know. I feel like we already have a video up on this subject. But it's great to see another person saying that it's, well, according to them, coming on iPadOS 16. It's Mac-like multitasking experience. And that probably means that you will have separate windows that you can move around, resize, or at least like not have this quite limiting experience that you have right now on the iPad Pro. It's time that it moves on to, well, not to macOS, but a free window-like experience, something that you can move around and manipulate the way that you want it to have, especially on a 12-inch display. Come on. So that's just, yeah, multitasking. Yeah, exactly. So I hope it's going to happen. Nobody knows. Yeah, this is exciting stuff. I can't wait to see this. I feel like last year it was quite a disappointment that it wasn't there. On the other hand, maybe they just wanted to wait until more iPads would be able to use it. Like, especially now with like the iPad Air being able to properly use it with the M1 chip. It makes more sense. There's now a bigger audience for it, and then yeah, it makes more sense to develop it as well. So, anyways, this is cool. This is great. Hopefully, we will get a little bit more pro apps as well for the device, right? And I feel like that is to end on a positive note, because there is a lot of hate for OLED here in the chat. I feel like iPad is going to get a new revamp soon. You will see that the iPad category is going to become more serious in a little bit, and that's good. With the OLED technology, with multitasking, iPadOS differentiating itself more and more from iOS, I think that's important. These are important steps, and these are things that you can't just take lightly. You need to think this through. You need to build, develop, bug test, everything. It has to happen, and maybe that's another reason why it didn't happen last year. If this is true, I will buy 2 of them. There you go, dude. That's a good way, as a good note to end this stream on. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I certainly did. This was a 2-hour stream, so a little bit shorter than we are used to, right? Mostly like 3-4 hours.